Hey everyone, I'd like to show you a series of exercises called Pawanmuktasana. They're really beneficial for the joints in our body for arthritis, stiffness. They free up energy blockages within the body. And they also work on an emotional as well as physical level and an energetic level. So very simple exercises, but highly beneficial to our bodies. So we'll begin by finding a comfortable position sitting on the floor, or it's possible that you can do some of these exercises from a chair. If you need support for height and more comfort, feel free to put a pillow or a couple of blankets underneath your hips, and you can just prop yourself up a little bit higher towards the front edge of the pillow or blanket, and that just helps the pelvis to be rolling forwards over the legs. So I'm just going to come onto a flat surface, and you can bring your hands by your hips or behind you. If you need some more support, you can lean into the hands a little. It also helps us to roll the hips out to feel more grounded through the sitting bones. And just taking a moment here to find your comfortable seat. Feel free to close your eyes, taking a few deep breaths in and out. And as you inhale, feel a sense of finding length through the spine. And exhale, maybe a soft sigh out of the mouth. Letting the shoulders relax and a softness come through the front of the body. Beginning to tune into your body and noticing any sensations, any areas of tightness or stiffness that you might be experiencing in this moment. Tuning in to the mind, noticing what's happening for you through the mind, any emotions or thoughts. General awareness of how your energy is feeling. And there's no judgment here, simply observing, noticing, and finding a nurturing observance around anything that might be challenging you. And from here, gently opening your eyes, and we'll begin with the movement through our toes. So as you inhale, just bringing the toes towards you, so the feet stay still, the movement is only in the toes. And as you exhale, gently bend the toes away. If you're prone to cramping in the feet, just start with very small movements. Inhale as you spread the toes out, bringing them towards you. Exhale, gently push them away. Just keep going with the breath. Inhale and lengthen through the body, spread the toes towards you. Exhale, pointing them away. A couple more rounds here. So this time as you bring the toes towards you, bend the ankles. So you may find that your heels will lift off the floor a little bit. That's okay. As you exhale, pointing the toes away from you. So feel that movement coming right into the ankles. Inhaling, drawing them towards you. Exhale, pushing them away. Just keep going, following your breath. So your rhythm might be different to mine. That's all good. Try to maintain that length through the spine. If it starts to get difficult for you to sit up straight, just take the hands back a little bit behind you, moving some weight through into the hands. So these are really good for lymph flow and breaking down calcium deposits. It increases the flow of synovial fluid around the joints, which essentially lubricate our joints. And then from there, we'll just move into a rotational circular movement. So you can take the feet a little bit wider if you need to. Slow circles, creating that mindful awareness. So it can become a meditation here as you really focus on the small movements that your body is making and feel that stretch in all directions. Try to feel as though you're really working the joints and tiny muscles around the feet, tendons and ligaments surrounding the ankles. Notice maybe one foot might not be gliding as smoothly as the other one. That's okay. It's quite normal. And then we'll change direction, going back the other way. So you can do up to 10 rotations in one direction for all of these movements. But for the purpose of this recording, I'll make them a little bit shorter repetitions, about 7 rounds. Notice if your mind is starting to drift away to other thoughts, bringing them back to what you are doing. One more circle there. And then maybe just give the feet a little bit of a shake out. Take a long, deep breath in and out. Maybe shift your position if you need to. Noticing how the feet are feeling. Noticing any changes or warmth through the joints. From here, we'll bend our right knee or left, it doesn't really matter. And just holding around the back of the leg and press down through your straight leg on the floor. As you inhale, you're just gently lifting the foot off the floor and away from you. And then exhale as you bring it down. So you can rest the toes on the floor or you can keep them slightly away. But I'll just turn this way so you get a better perspective. So inhaling as you reach outwards and exhale, bending the knee back in. Keep going with the breath. Feel, keeping the upper thigh as still as you can so that you bring that awareness of movement into the knee joint. Follow the breath again, inhaling, using the inhale to lengthen the body as well, the torso. Exhale, even a gentle squeeze into the abdomen if you want some more work. Good. And then just resting that leg down, bend it out, and then change to the other side. Lengthening through the spine as you inhale, raise the foot upwards, and exhale, lowering it down. Try to keep strong through that leg that is on the floor. That's your foundation. You can lean back a little bit just to counterbalance. Awareness of the knee joints. They do a lot of work for us, our legs and knees, and they're often forgotten. Long, deep breaths. Maybe squeezing it, the thigh in towards the body for the last couple of rounds. Good, and then relaxing that foot back down. Changing back to the other side. So this time we'll take the forearms around the thigh and then lifting the thigh, squeezing it in towards the abdomen. Again, you can lean back a little bit to find balance. And we're going to circle the lower leg. So the ankle is not moving. The movement is coming from the knee joint. So imagine that you're drawing a circle with your toes in front of you. There's not a large range of movement here. Sometimes it's quite hard to connect the brain to the knee. So if you're struggling with this one, it's okay. Practice is always helpful. So change direction, going back the other way. One more circle there. Lovely. And then we'll bring the hip rotation into this movement while we're here. So I'll give you the easy option first. So holding around the back of that same side, and then we'll begin to circle it out and around. So now the movement comes from the hip joint. The foot can go just over the other leg, slightly above it, if you want that freer range of movement. You can explore how far out and around you can take it. And if you're wanting to be a little bit more challenging here, you can hold the foot with your left hand, and then the other hand comes around the outside. From there, change direction, going back the other way. So create a nice fluid movement with your breath. A sense of fluidity with the movement and breath. One more circle that way. And then bring your foot back to the floor and slowly extend it out. We'll move to the other knee. And bringing your forearms around the thigh. So kind of hugging the thigh, bringing it in close towards your body. Raising the lower leg and then beginning to circle it. Smaller movements here, keeping grounded through your other leg. Exploring the movements and see how far out or up or across you can move that lower leg. And going back the other way, change direction. Good. From there, just lowering that foot down and take your inside hand underneath the foot and the outside hand wraps around the knee. Beginning to circle. So that if you find that that's quite difficult holding the leg in that position, then take your hands underneath the thigh and that's a little bit freer for you to move. So choose which one works best for you. And just seeing where the body can move to without forcing it or creating pain in your body. Sometimes we get little clunking sounds or clicks going on. So if that happens, try to move around that sensation rather than push through it. Changing direction. One more circle there. And then bringing your foot back to the floor and slowly extend the leg out. Okay, so I'll just take our legs a little bit wider, just as wide as feels good for you. Again, you can sit on a blanket or pillow to be more comfortable here. And then taking the arms out wide, spreading the fingers out, spread the palms. Maybe take the hands a little bit higher than the shoulders and then slowly bring them down. Try to relax the shoulder blades back, feeling space through the spine. And as you inhale, press down through your legs. Slowly exhaling, turning to your right, bringing a twist into the spine here. And then inhale back to the center and exhale to the other side. Inhaling, reaching out, exhale, grounding through the legs. Keep going, inhale, lengthen the spine, exhaling into the twist. If your arms get really tight, you can always bend the elbows, like the cactus arms, or you can bring the fingertips onto your shoulders. Try to feel that space as though you're drawing the shoulders outwards, space around the collarbones, exhaling as you twist, inhaling as you come back to the center. You're looking over your shoulder behind you to a comfortable spiral for your neck. And then from here, you might like to speed it up a little bit and just let the arms slightly tap the fronts of the legs. still swinging that arm around behind you. And if you want a little bit more, then you can reach forwards towards the toes. Also turning the head as well. So go at your pace. You might want to make it faster and even make the breath faster. You can create shorter, sharper breaths, and I'll demonstrate here. And then when you're ready, gently slowing it down and coming to stillness. Just bring your hands onto your knees for a moment. Close your eyes, take some deep breaths in and out. And feel free to sigh the breath out. One more deep breath in and out. Lovely. So bringing your legs back in. Just bend the knees a little bit to do that if you need to. And we'll come into a butterfly pose here. So we'll start with just holding on to the knees and just short little movements, just soft movements, warming up through the hips and groin. Think of butterfly wings flapping up and down. You can either hold the knees. If your hips are really tight, then this is a nice way to support any pressure that you're feeling through the hips. Otherwise, you can bring your hands to the ankles and create the movement that way. And then from there, finding stillness, you can hold on. Again, you can hold on to the knees if you need to, or around the shins or ankles. So as you inhale, find some length through the spine. It's almost like you're pulling up through the ankles or feet. And as you exhale, gently push the knees away from you. So you may not see any movement, but you'll feel that work coming into the groin area and around the hips. Inhale, soften. As you exhale, gently push the knees down. So take care not to force anything here. If you're quite tight, just be gentle. Softer movements are better if you experience discomfort or have hip and groin issues. Good. And then from here, we'll bring the hands forwards a little bit if you have the room to move, and inhale, lengthen up. This time as you exhale, we'll fold forwards. So we'll just make it a nice flowing movement to begin with. So letting the chin drop down, you can lean back a little bit, and then inhale as you open the chest, and you might find that easier to do, holding the knees as you create a little bit of forward movement. Exhale, tuck the chin in, curl the spine, and then inhale, lifting up, open the chest. The chin is slightly jutting forwards as you fold forwards, and then let the head come down. Do 2 more rounds. If you don't get much movement, that's okay. You'll still feel it as you try to push forwards. So it's not about how far you can get, just feeling and working with your body to its comfortable threshold. And then the next time you come forward, we'll hold the pose. So again, you can keep your hands around the knees, or you can bring the hands to the feet or the front of the shins. Keeping the back of the neck lengthened. Chin is slightly tucked in, so you're gazing just in front of the feet. And feel as though you're lengthening the front of your body from the pubic bone through to the sternum, up and over towards the floor in front. If you need a bit of support, again, you can take your hands behind or hold the knees. As you exhale, imagine that you're softening down through into the hips, through into the groin and the pelvis, sinking into the pose. It's always nice to close your eyes here. The forward bends help to quieten and internalize our mind. Really good for the nervous system, calming the body. One more deep breath in and out. Well done. And then from there, slowly bring the knees back up to the top. And extend your legs out, giving them a little bit of a shake out. All right. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions or requests, and I'll see you again soon. Namaste.